Everyday, seemingly mundane things you do are physically rewiring your brain. Yep, every single day, it's changing. And the most fascinating and kind of intimidating part, we actually hold the instruction manual for how it changes.
But here's the scary part that we really need to tackle right out of the gate. What is your brain adapting to right now? Because let's be real, most of us are unknowingly training our brains to be super distracted, mentally fragile, and just completely hooked on constant stimulation. Every single time you find yourself endlessly scrolling or putting off that tough project, you're actively teaching your brain to crave that quick dopamine hit. You're wiring it to react rather than take charge, and you probably don't even realize you're doing it.
Okay, let's dive into this. To make all of this really actionable, we're going to group 7 critical science-backed habits into 5 simple themes. The brain rewiring reality, reclaim your attention, build physical brain fuel, mental and emotional strength, and finally the power of consistency.
So, starting right at the top with Section 1, the brain rewiring reality, because your daily habits are either sharpening your mind or, well, weakening it.
Take a look at this. Over on the left side, we've got comfort. You know the drill. Endless scrolling, dodging hard work, looking for a quick distraction. When you choose that, you're physically adapting your brain to that exact behavior. You're basically training it to be weak. But look at the right side. Discipline. When you intentionally choose focus and clarity, you build actual mental power. It's like a workout for your mind. The path you pick dictates the physical structure of your brain.
And this brings us right down to the hard science, brain rewiring, which neuroscientists call neuroplasticity, is the process where your brain constantly changes and adapts itself based entirely on the behaviors you repeat. Just take a second and let that sink in. Your mental baseline isn't set in stone. You literally have the power to change the physical structure of your brain just by tweaking what you do every single day.
Which naturally brings us to our second big theme here, reclaim your attention. Because honestly, our attention spans are collapsing, and this is the absolute most urgent fire we need to put out.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it totally flips our usual idea of focus. We usually think of focus as just a productivity hack, right? Just a way to cross more stuff off the to-do list. But constantly jumping between tasks, that literally drains your brain's energy. It causes intense mental exhaustion. The truth is, most folks can't focus for 5 minutes without twitching to check an app. So the habit we need to build is super straightforward. 20 minutes a day, one single task, absolutely no phone, zero multitasking. Doing this actually improves your memory, your learning speed, and even your emotional control.
I absolutely love this quote right here. A distracted brain becomes weak. A focused brain becomes dangerous. And look, I'll be honest with you. When you first try that 20 minutes of locked-in focus, your brain is going to fight back, hard. You'll feel restless and jittery. Why? Because you've trained it to expect constant stimulation. But if you can just push through that initial friction, deep focus starts to feel natural, and you become incredibly powerful.
And to actually unlock that dangerous level of focus, we have to talk about habit 5, reducing dopamine overload. Look, modern apps are literally engineered by brilliant people to hijack your attention with cheap, instant dopamine. And the crazy side effect, normal life just starts feeling boring. Reading a book feels like a chore, studying feels literally impossible. But it's not because you're lazy, it's simply because your brain is adapted to instant gratification and is completely overstimulated. So how do we fix it? We fix it by intentionally stepping back. Try out some of these tactics. Take a walk without your phone in your pocket. Eat your lunch without a YouTube video playing. Or, just sit in silence for a few minutes. Give your brain a chance to recover from all the noise. And the payoff? It's massive. When you do this, your natural focus bounces back, your motivation levels out, your mind calms down, and suddenly those simple everyday things become genuinely enjoyable again.
All right, let's move to theme number 3 and see how this builds. Build physical brain fuel. There are 2 physical things you can do that give you huge, measurable neurological upgrades. First up, sleep. It's wild how many people expect peak focus but only sleep 5 hours a night. Biologically, that's just impossible. Skimping on sleep wrecks your memory and leaves you prone to impulsive choices. Getting 7+ hours literally repairs your brain, clears out metabolic waste, and restores your emotional balance. And the second action? Exercise. Just 20 minutes a day physically pumps more blood into your brain, floods it with focus-enhancing chemicals, and cuts down the chronic stress that literally eats away at your memory. A tired brain cannot build a powerful life. It's really as simple and as brutal as that. Sleep isn't just wasted time where you aren't hustling, it's absolutely crucial recovery. You've got to actively protect it.
cut the screen time before bed, and please, can we stop treating sleep deprivation like it's some sort of badge of honor? Honestly, it's just a recipe for a weak mind.
And when it comes to exercise, beyond all that great blood flow and those focus chemicals, there is this massive hidden benefit. Exercise builds pure discipline. Every single time you lace up those sneakers and move your body, even when you feel lazy, you're training your brain to take action without waiting around for motivation to strike. Whether you're walking, running, or lifting weights, teaching yourself to act without waiting to feel like it, man, that is a skill that will change your entire life.
Okay, we are climbing further up the pyramid now to Section 4, Mental and Emotional Strength. We've laid the physical groundwork, now we have to protect our intellect.
Which brings us to habit 3, read things that challenge you. Let's face it, most of the content we consume today is just designed to entertain us. Rapid-fire reels and mindless scrolling literally train your brain for shallow thinking. But reading does the exact opposite. Try to aim for just 10 pages a day of something slightly above your normal comfort level, maybe psychology, business, philosophy, or a dense biography. Reading actively forces your brain to imagine, to analyze, to put pieces together. It is the ultimate antidote to the shallow thinking of our digital age.
But hey, don't just passively let your eyes glaze over the words. As you're reading those 10 pages, I want you to literally pause and ask yourself 2 exact questions. What can I learn from this, and how can I apply this? Doing that act of processing isn't just about memorizing facts. That is the exact mechanism for how deep critical thinking physically develops in your brain over time.
Now, a truly sharp brain isn't just smart, it's emotionally rock solid. That's habit 6, learning emotional control to protect your long-term opportunities. Think about it. How many people do you know who have completely torched an amazing opportunity because they reacted impulsively out of anger, stress, or fear? You could have all the laser focus in the world, but if you lack emotional control, you are going to end up sabotaging yourself.
Taking back that control actually comes down to a really straightforward 3-step procedure. Step 1, a trigger happens. Somebody cuts you off or you get a bad email. Step 2, you intentionally pause for just a couple of seconds so your rational brain can actually grab the steering wheel. And step 3, and this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept, you shift your language. Instead of saying to yourself, I'm angry, you say, I notice anger. That tiny little shift in words creates this vital emotional distance. You stop being a puppet to the emotion and become an observer of it. That right there is true emotional intelligence.
Finally, we arrive at our 5th and final theme, the power of consistency. This is habit 7, the ultimate catalyst that makes all the other rewiring permanent.
Look at the contrast here. Over on the left side, we've got small daily actions. Reading 10 pages, exercising for 20 minutes, doing a little bit of focused work every single day. On the right side, rare, intense, massive efforts, like reading 100 pages in one sitting once a month, or doing a random, grueling 3-hour workout. Here's the thing. Your brain doesn't learn from temporary hype. It learns through repetition. The approach on the left actually rewires your brain. The approach on the right just leaves you completely burnt out and right back where you started.
This is a hard truth, but we all really need to hear it. Stop relying on motivation. Consistency is what changes the brain. Motivation is a feeling. It comes, it goes, it's totally unpredictable. But small, daily habits, when you repeat them long enough, they literally, physically transform the architecture of your brain.
So the crucial point is this. When you actually stay consistent, some pretty incredible things start to happen. Discipline stops being a struggle and just becomes natural. Focusing gets easier. Your confidence naturally grows. Eventually, you just become the type of person who follows through. You don't need lucky genetics to build a powerful mind. True consistency fundamentally shifts your identity. So these powerful habits just become, well, who you are.
I want to leave you with this one vital, slightly provocative thought to carry with you after this explainer. Since your brain is constantly adapting no matter what exactly is it adapting to right now? Are you training for distraction, or are you training for focus, comfort, or discipline? Overstimulation or crystal clear clarity? The choice is entirely yours every single day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I challenge you, start consciously rewiring your mind today.